Hello everyone, welcome to Ed's Metalworks. It's been a while, but we find we're gonna come up with a little video today we thought you might enjoy. I'll show you what we got going. Let's get right into it. We got this tilt table. As you can see, we dug it out of the, saved it from the scrap pile, put it that way. It don't look like it's in too bad a shape. We'll take it apart and see if we can get it freed up and make it a useful tool again. Oh, excuse me for... Yeah, the top of it don't look too bad. A little bit of a dingle here somewhere, but right in here. Other than that, it ain't all drilled through and full of tracks and from somebody else. But all right, I'll get you set up here and we'll get this thing taken apart and see what we can come up with on this. Alrighty then, we'll get this taken apart. I think what we're gonna do though is we're gonna run it all through my glass bead machine, or glass bead cabinet, because I think it'd just be a nicer finish to take care of after it's cleaned up than in soaking it in the rust remover. But all right, we'll get a tool here, see if we can get it taken apart. Well, that one came out slick. Not bad. Yeah, it comes apart easy. So far. I mean, the bolts come out easy. Yeah. Now let's see what we got here. I see nothing else holding it together. We'll get it clamped on the table and try prying on it. Get that top off of there. I imagine you want to see my pretty face. I'll just keep the part in frame here. With a bang. There's a removable screws on this side here. It's dead. I don't know if we can get them out or not. We'll see what we got here. Get you focused up here a little bit. Well, a little skinnier screwdriver maybe. Oh, those were easy to come out. They weren't even hardly tight, which is nice. Yep, there's one in the middle. There she be, a straight edge along the one side of it. Now, that's it for that part. Now we got the pointer down in here. I don't know, we'll have to see if there's anything marked on here as far as degrees. But we'll take this pointer off. Maybe. Oh yeah, got her started. It's probably a pretty good tool in its day. I don't know, it did get used a whole lot though, I think. Probably one of the things when you need it, you got it, but you don't need it very often. All right, there's the pointer. All right, let's take these three out and see what we come up with next. Nice, they're all 3/4 inch bolts. These are a little longer. That might be the center pivot there. What's underneath here? Yeah, looks like a like that should come up off of there. It's coming. pry on these, but I'll just see if I'm not going to pry on there. I don't want to mar that surface up, because that's where it must be where it rotates around there. Alrighty. Yep. There's all our pieces. Everything looks to be in pretty good shape, just corroded a little bit from sitting around. Like I said, I don't know if there's degrees on this here or what. But same way with the tilt table. I don't know. Have to look and see which, if there's anything cut into here. You can't see it now, but once we blast it off, maybe it'll be more visible. But there's our parts and pieces. We'll go run these through the glass bead machine. I don't know that I'll show you much of that. It's kind of boring standing there just cleaning it off, but maybe part of it. But all right, we'll proceed with that. Alright, I thought I'd show you guys a little bit of sand and glass beading one of these parts. The vacuum I got is going. That's what's making all the noise now, but soon the air compressor will start up too. But I'm just going to show you my blast cabinet. It's a stat blast cabinet. And I buy my media, well, at Harbor Freight. It's called Clean and Bright, I think. It's a recycled glass product. I don't know if you can see that down there, but it comes from Northern Tool. I think it's about 20 bucks a bag. Usually you can get a, get a Northern Tool coupon and spend it on that. But I'll try to show you a little bit of this. I don't know if my camera will hang in there or not, but I'm gonna try it out once. Everything's cold. It's only 20 degrees outside and probably not much warmer than that in here, so we'll give you a little shot of this and then we'll proceed with the rest of it. Cleans up nice. When that air compressor kicks on, it really gets noisy in here. Hope you can see a little bit of that. machine surface cleaned up really nice. The as cast surface looks like it's cleaning up pretty good. One thing, this blast cabinet, it does use a lot of air. You gotta have a pretty good air compressor. I think my air compressor is a 5 horsepower. It's got an 80-gallon tank. And I think it's 15.9 CFM or SCFM, something like that. I could be wrong there, so don't hold me back on that, or hold it against me on that. Just trying to remember off the top of my head. Anyway, you get the gist of it. Cleans up pretty nice. We'll get the rest of them parts done. Excuse me. We'll get the rest of them parts done and we'll bring you back for the finish work. Well, we got everything run through the glass bead machine. Everything cleaned up pretty nice from its rusty state. We did find a couple things like these degree marks on here. I don't know if you can see them or not. There you go. But we'll clean them up. Also, on the table, we found some, oh, sorry about the shadow, the degree marks too. But what we'll do is all the mating surfaces like this here, and like, I guess like these in here, we're going to hit with just the wire brush. That'll shine them up a little bit. I already did this a little bit, shined it up. But we're not going to take any like sandpaper or anything to it, because we don't want to take anything more off of it. What I did do, kind of see it, I did run a wire brush and a stone across these. It's not a precision ground stone, but it did show a few dingles. But for what my use, it'll be plenty good. But all the bolts, I sandblasted them. They're kind of unique bolt, no markings on the head like they're turned or something. And then they got these thick washers that got a bevel on one side, so I'm salvaging all these. I glass beat them, and then I polish them with the wire wheel. We'll do a couple here. Also, the screws. These are 1024 screws that hold this edge on. Of course, I got 10,000 screws around here and don't have any this length, that's like about 3/4. I did have some of the shorter ones, so that hold the pointer. But I'll just hold them in my handy little hand chuck here and polish them up and file the groove a little bit so they look nice. But anyway, we'll get to getting this ready for paint now, and after we paint, we'll probably re-tap all these holes that need to be re-tapped or tapped. So Make sure there ain't no gunk in there. So, alrighty, we'll go ahead and polish up a couple of these bolts and run the wire brush on these parts here that need to be mating surface, or need to be seen, not painted, put it that way. Alrighty, let's get to it. My safety gear. Alrighty, get this table taken care of here first. Yeah, that wire brush, it just kind of shines up this after you glass beat them. It's a heavy little booger. Alrighty, I think that's good on there. The rest of it will get some paint on it. This here we'll polish these edges a little bit and I think we'll use one of these Scotch-Brite pads and see what that does on here. Yeah, that polishes up nicely. Nice surface, the rest to get a little paint. Kind of freshens up that machine surface. All right, that's good. What's this piece got? Oh yeah, we got this around the edge here. We're just gonna hit that with the wire brush. That's the clamping plate for when you pivot that table. I should say rotate the table. Yeah, the rest of that we'll put some paint on. This here, yeah, we'll try and get this surface here. Give me a little different tool for doing that. I'll be right back. See if we can do it with this die grinder and a brush. There's an indicator on here for the degrees when you rotate that. Okay, this is the ring. Try it. Die grinder flying apart here. I might try to get a different wheel for this. I'll be back. I'll go change that wheel out. Alright, I kind of figured you've seen enough of that polishing and stuff. I'm going to finish all these up. I'll finish these bolts up, and when we get everything ready for paint, I'll bring you back and we'll put a little color on this thing. I can't find a name on it anywhere. It don't have a brand name of any kind. Only markings on anything are this right here, this JAS. I don't know what that might stand for, or JA. I think it's an S. 7A. But anyway, I'll bring you back when I get ready to paint. No sense boring you with all this polishing. Alrighty, we got the parts all cleaned up. I polished up and cleaned up. Now we're going to put some paint on them. What we're going to use is just this Rust-Oleum Gloss Smoke Gray. It's kind of a machinery color I got on some of my other stuff around here, but we're just going to do it all freehand. Sometimes I tape off these other areas, but that's usually only when I'm spray painting. You should be able to freehand most of this and stay away from them machined areas, put it that way. Get all this rough casting all coated in here. Stay away from these areas that show a little bit of, like they machined them down or something. Stay away from those. Of course, this piece is the table. We don't have to paint any of the top of that, so you just lay the way it is here. and keep all these edges nice and clean. Can't really tell the difference between the glass bead part and the painted area. But looks pretty good to detail paint your restoration projects with just these little brushes, and it goes quicker than you think. Like I said, sometimes I'll tape off these areas and when I spray paint, but this is all going to be brush work here. It's all pretty rough casting, so I don't think it had. I know it didn't look like it had any paint on it at all originally. So what we put on there will be more than it ever had, maybe. Yeah, we can always scrape it off on these mating surfaces if we have to. Like I said, after we paint, we'll run a tap through all these threaded holes, get the gunk and the paint out of there. Looks like we can. Well, anyway, you get the idea here. I'm not going to bore you with all this painting, but just want to show you my technique here a little bit and get a good coat on there. Last another, who knows how many years. Like I said, the only identifying deal was that JAS 7A. I don't know what any of that means, but if anybody does, leave it in the comment. I'd like to know what brand name it is, or if it is a brand name. But I'm sure it's good old American made something. But alrighty. Like I said, it's kind of hard to tell what's painted, what ain't painted, but get a nice coat of this machinery gray on it, and I'll bring it back when we get it all painted and start the assembly. I put all the bolts, got all the bolts polished up, put them in give them a squirt of WD-40 and let them sit in there so they absorb a little oil if they can. And so we'll get all the rest of these parts painted up and bring it back during assembly. Well, as you can tell, we got all of our pieces all cleaned up and ready to go back together. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start our assembly process here. First of all, we just got to put this pointer in here. Got a couple new screws for that. Painted that pointer red just for a little, I don't know, I guess decoration. It looks nice. You can spot it easier with red. All right. Here we go with that. Now, what we'll do is we'll grease up this ring here a little bit. Not a whole lot on there, but give it a little bit of lubrication where it rotates. All right. Let's see what this sits down in here. Well, we had it in there one time with no problem. Yeah, I don't like that. It's too tight. I want it to slide nicely. Let's see if I got a little burr on there or something, but I don't see anything. There we go. All right. Now, well, here on the clamp surface, here's the clamp. I just have these bolts in there to hold it up while I painted it. And these 3 bolts, long bolts, hold that together. What we're going to do though, we're going to put some never sees on these bolts. Make sure everything stays loose for the future. All right. There is a reference mark in some degrees here somewhere. We'll just set it on. That's 0. We'll set it on 0 for now. Now we'll see if we can put the table on here. We're going to grease up these surfaces here where they slide together and wipe off the excess after we get it together. Same way with this table. Whoop. All right. Comes the moment of truth. Set this down on here. All right. Get something to get a little bit of alignment going here. Now all these bolts are all the same. This thing's so dang heavy I can't hardly. pivot point lined up anyway. Oh, geez. Now, all right, one down. Oh, do the other side here. All right. Grease on there, one to never see. Too many additions here. All right. Bring you over here. You got the pointer. We'll get this, oops, sorry about the glare. We'll get that pointer lined up on 0 and we'll tighten things down. Wipe off a little excess grease. Oh, jeez. Oh, my. All righty. And we got this little side piece to put on here. And get a got some excess paint over here. We'll take care of that real quick like. All right, then we have this stop that goes on here. he's got a bunch of WD-40 on them, so we'll just leave them go the way they are. My short stubby here. All right. A little WD-40 up here. Give it a little protection. Alrighty, guys. There we go. Let me see if I can get it turned around. This thing is heavy. It's heavy for sure. All right. Got our, see our degrees down there. We're set on 0 right here. There's a notch in the top part and a 0 right there. We got, spin it around here real quick. We got 0 on our pointer right here. Right there, 0 on our pointer. And that's about it. All shined up and ready to do something. Don't know what yet, but it's a tool in the shop we never had before. So that's always a good thing to restore something. Bring it back to life. Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks a lot for joining along on this. I might got a little stretched out at times, but sometimes that's what it takes. Anyway, give me a thumbs up if you will. Comment. If you know what brand this is, let me know somewhere along the line. I don't know what brand it is, so don't have no brand on it, but just has the initials that I mentioned earlier. So y'all have a good one, and we'll try and catch you on the next video. And thanks for watching. Ed's Metal Works signing out.